Okay, so there goes our fox. He goes round and round, gets nice and clean. Like I said, put him on a gentle cycle. You'd be surprised what you'll gain by washing your fur.
Okay guys, so we've got our fox. He's been washed, he's dried. We got him on a fleshing beam. We're gonna flesh him now. Now on my fox, I pull all the ear cartilage out, on my coyotes too. So we're gonna start by doing that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take the earbuds and we're gonna start by cutting off the big notch of them where we can work at them a little bit easier. Okay, I use two tools. I use a small pair of pliers, and then I also use just a knife. And all we're looking for is to separate the cartilage from the ear, the outside skin. So we're just going to take and we're going to grab a hold of that cartilage, and we're just going to slowly start working the skin down along the ear there. And freeing up that ear. Okay. Once we get it to a point where we can flip the ear and pull it out, usually we can take our pliers and you can get it started. You can see I've got it started now with my knife. You can just kind of knead it with your hands and use your pliers, and you can just pull the whole piece of cartilage. You can see that's the inside of the ear. We can pull a whole piece of cartilage out. Okay. Now we have a nice skin of the ear here. We can just take and just kind of dress it up as needed, just to make it look nice. It helps in the drying process. You can pin them forward this way. It looks nicer. Is basically what it comes down to. We got a little bit of fat here at the bottom. Okay, on this next one here, try to show you guys again. We'll just take and we'll cut the big part of the earbud off. Okay. Next we'll take our pliers here, and I just kind of give it just a little tug just so we can work that skin down enough where we can pull the ear out. Once we pull the ear out, we can take our pliers and just slowly start working that ear up and out. There's really no true method to this. It's just, you just kind of got to do enough of them. You can see that nice part of that ear come off. We'll just come over here. We'll get this last remaining little bit. Pull this last little bit of cartilage off. We're looking for a nice clean presentation. Trim a little of that fat off. Okay. Now then, that's the ears. They're done. That's all we'll need to do to them. The cartilage is removed. They look nice. Going off a presentation. Okay, next. As far as the fleshing process of this fox, you can see this red membrane here. This is called the saddle. Coyotes, foxes, it's kind of like a mink, all have these saddles. Okay, now if at all possible, you need to leave the saddle on. Okay, it basically shows it's not over fleshed, because these are such thin-skinned animals. It kind of holds the hair, and it has something to do in the tanning process too. So the buyers like to see that saddle on there. Now, in some cases, like this is a late caught fox. We're in the late part of January. So he's used up most of his fat. You know, if this would be earlier in the season, fox, sometimes there's fat underneath, especially right around the arms. You need to take that off. We can't have any fat. That will cause spoilage. But in this case, you can see there's very little, if any, fat right here. So we're going to do our best to keep this saddle on here. So what we're going to do is, you can see there's some stuff going on here around the head of this fox. We're just going to start with our fleshing knife on the dull side, and we're just going to scrape some of that gummy tissue away. There's a little bit around the eyes. We're just going to use our knife just to help us out. A lot of a fox's presentation, I mean, if it's borderline on anything, they're going to go to presentation and put up factor. So you want to do your best. I mean, you took this animal, you know, do the best you can. Okay, now we've got the head taken care of. Now you can see, now we've got a little fatty tissue right in this area, and then a little bit of this. So we're just going to take our fleshing knife, and we're just going to scrape that heavy fat off of him. Stuff that comes off real easy. Get down here, you can see there's some fat coming up under the armpit area. There's a glob right there. So we're just going to take and kind of push that down. Okay? Now then, we want to leave as much of that saddle on as we can. So we're going to work our way down, and we're going to spin him. Now this fox here sustained an injury right here under his arm. More than likely it was crossing a barbed wire fence or something. So we're going to want to sew that up, and we want to be careful as we flesh around that. Foxes have very thin skin, so we don't want to open that up. You can see it's just a small hole, probably caused by crossing barbed wire fence or something. So we're just going along, we're just kind of popping the heavy fat off of this fox here. Just working him around real easy. Get back around to the head side here. Get his ear tucked back in. This is why I say you need to be adamant about brushing them out. Any little cockabur with these thin-skinned animals will be sure to cause you trouble while you're fleshing. So we're working down. Like I said, there's a little bit of fat here around the armpits usually. We just want to take that off real easy. I've known guys that even use just a spoon to flesh the foxes with. Predominantly around here, our foxes seem to be a lot leaner. Our coyotes are pretty fatty. Okay, so we've got him fleshed down past the arms here. Now we're coming down to the bottom of our fox. He's got a little bit of fat right around the base of the tail. You can see that hard white fat. That's really what we're after. That's what will cause your spoilage there. So we're just going to be real easy scraping him. You can see we're leaving that saddle, this red part here. That's what we're trying to leave. We're just going to spin him. You're looking for the loose stuff. Now, not saying that you have to leave the saddle. Like I said, in my area, see the loose stuff there coming right off. In my area, our early caught foxes are actually very fatty. Almost always our foxes caught in late November and early December, they will have to be fleshed completely out just because they will have so much fat underneath that saddle. But these late foxes, you know, you want to leave, and you will see a difference in your grading. Almost every time you take the saddle off of a fox, you'll end up with a slight. It won't be much, and it usually won't be any in the price difference, but it will be a different grade. So now we're gonna come down the tail, right here at the base of the tail. I usually don't mess too much with the tail. Tails usually might be fat on them. We're just coming right here to the end of him, just knocking all that heavy fat off. Everything else will dry. Now we're about done here. All we got to do is just one more foot here. Like I said, we're just knocking off the big clumps of fat. You can see it doesn't take much at all to flesh a fox. Okay then. Now you can see our fox is fleshed. Didn't take much at all. You can see we still left our nice saddle on our fox. We've cleaned up his head real nice. The lips and everything, that's going to all come off in the boarding process, so we're not worried too much about that. So anyway, this will do it for part 2, the fleshing. We're going to board him in part 3.
Okay guys, still part 3.